This is a moment that I've been waiting for ever since you announced that you're purchasing this car, ever since you started developing it as a stock car.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, okay, I cannot wait to pick Jackie's brain.
Oh, thank you.
Once the car is developed to a certain point, I'm assuming that this is not its final form.
No, I think there's more. There's more in it.
But you've developed this platform quite a bit, because at one point you were thinking, hey, I hit the limit of what the Supra is capable of, maybe?
Right. To an extent, yeah, to an extent. So I think when we started with the Supra, we picked the year one, right? The 2020, when it had a 2-port head, it had some, and then immediately the year after they came up with a 6-port head, which is a little bit more better for top end, more power. Papadakis talked all about that when they swapped over to that. For us, it was kind of out of the budget, so we stuck with the 2-port until we got to a point where we couldn't get much more out of it without needing an entire engine or like needing a head swap or so on and so forth. And a lot of people ended up going a lot quicker than our car on the Supra platform, taking our aero packages or the parts that we offered that we helped develop, and just the general formula in general, right? There's so many Supras these days, and we like to take a little bit of credit for that. But I wanted to keep going, I wanted to keep trying, and so the next thing we wanted to try is this.
So why not just build the newest Supra, the second generation Supra? Why not just develop that platform and try to make that even faster?
I think like with the 6-port head, beyond the engine swap, there wasn't much to do with the rest of the chassis. The rest of the chassis is great. We've proven it's super fast on a super limited tire. We were setting records with 275 with tires on most tracks and 200 tread wear that a lot of cars on slicks couldn't touch. So I thought we were finito. It was point proven, right? So it was time to learn something else, I felt like, yeah.
Right, and then you thought to yourself, okay, this is the next platform, this is the one to develop.
Yeah, I think part of it was because we were interested in what BMW had to offer with the kind of the M electronics, right? And also, this is the S58, which is kind of like their version of an upgraded B58. So instead of one high-pressure fuel pump, you have two. Instead of single turbo, you have twins. So the limit of this car is just in general a little bit higher in a stock form.
So then in this form, is this faster than your final form for the Supra?
I think it's really close. If it's on equal tires, I think the Supra had a little bit more aggressive aero package, which maybe give it a little bit more of an edge, and also it's quite a bit lighter than this car. But with this in track mod form, it is a good chunk quicker, yeah.
Okay, let's just dig into this, because you've done a lot since it was a stock vehicle. What have you changed on the outside?
So the exterior-wise, we've had the full RevoSport aero kit. The only thing that's carbon fiber that is on the car that isn't from RevoSport is the Team Shermer carbon fiber doors and the OEM carbon fiber roof. The rest of the carbon fiber is all from RevoSport, the hood, the vented fenders, the complex 3D shaped front splitter. This one's actually been through a couple of off-track excursions, so we've had to emergency patch it up to finish off the rest of the season, but it's actually still holding pretty good. And the rear wing kit and the rear trunk as well. So we're pretty happy with the performance that it's had. It produces a good amount of downforce, and we feel it's very, very good for a track day / street modified time attack package. So
then how much weight have you been able to take out of it in this?
So bone stock, this car weighed around 3750, 3770 on our scales with fuel, no driver. Right now we got it down to, I think, 3250 without, so about 500 pounds. Yeah, about 500 pounds off the car. With me in the car and with fuel, this thing is 3,400 dead. It's still a lot for a track car, but it's also, comparatively speaking, a lot better than it was from stock.
It is so heavy.
Yeah, it is. It's the inherent nature of the car, right? But also when you drop the under panels, you look at the underside, you see a lot of the extra reinforcement that the BMW specifically put on to try and stiffen the chassis up for that, response in the high speed. So you will be surprised to find under the hood, it is pretty much a stock engine. I wish there's a lot to talk to you about. There is a set of carbon fiber strut bars and the AMS intake. That's a prototype. They're working on that. Should be coming out very soon. We have a set of pure stage 2 turbos on the car and some catalyst downpipes. And I think that's about it. And the AMS heat exchanger, actually. That's the only sort of cooling updates that we have on the car. The rest of the thing, intake manifold, everything else, all factory. We haven't touched the fuel system. We haven't touched anything else. So that's kind of it. And yeah.
And then, so what kind of fuel do you run?
We run a VP MS-109, so the race fuel that kind of has been one of my crew chief Alex's favorite because he prefers that over E85. E85 probably makes a little more power, but MS-109 is a little bit easier to use. You don't have to worry about it going bad, so on and so forth. But this makes around 760 horsepower at the wheels on stock system, so you don't have to mess with it.
That's so much.
That is like nuts. That's not on a Supra to get to that sort of level. On a track car, you really need all sort of port injection. You need a big turbo. You need all that sort of stuff. On this stock fuel system, you just throw a little race fuel at it and it just makes so much power so easily.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Look at this hood. It's so nice.
Yeah, it's a full dry carbon autoclave. The quality is really next level.
Did you drive this as a street car at all?
We drove it a little bit, yeah. But we competed actually with the car basically as stock form. Kind of all through our season 1 with it, mostly to learn what the car needs, what it doesn't need. The car's so capable, the brakes are great, we'll talk about it a little bit. The chassis itself is pretty good outside of the weight, and we felt like it needed a little bit of aero, so that's what we've been working on. So
then all the parking sensors, all that stuff is out then?
We went pretty aggressive with the weight reduction, yeah. So yeah, most of that's out. So
things I love about anti-gravity batteries. 60% lighter than lead acid. Built-in wireless jump starting so I won't be stranded by a dead battery. Doesn't leak. No corrosion on the terminals. 3 times the lifespan. Faster, more efficient charging. Twice the cranking power of lead acid. Get yours at antigravitybatteries.com. So then let's talk about the wheel, tire, brake combo here.
So typically we run a Nanking CRS for the track modified competition. We run the Goodyear Eagle F1 Supercar 3R. This is the 100 tread wear. This is kind of what everybody's running. It's the go-to tire. We're running this on a 19 by 12 squared setup on this car. It's very aggressive, very difficult to make fit. That's why you see on our regular fenders, we actually have a little bit of a Amazon super special carbon fiber fender flares to make it tuck underneath. 19 by 12, again, pretty aggressive with a 305, try to stretch it out. For this weekend, we're actually trying to run a 325 in the back. And most critically, this is a Revel Sport custom wheel. This kind of invokes a little bit of that touring car look, like from the JGTC style, like the Super Taikyu wheels. And yeah, like you see, stock brakes. We actually haven't had to touch the calipers. That's actually what you get from factory. We like to talk about it. The brake pad on this car from factory is larger than like an iPhone Pro Max.
No way.
It's huge. Once you go to the BBK, it actually reduces some sort of brake pad volume, so.
Huh. And then I'm assuming you were able to lose a lot of weight with the exhaust too?
Yeah, the exhaust is kind of, at this point, just a upgraded mid-pipe and a custom rear exit. We're working on a rear diffuser. That's why this part has been left mostly empty, but we're trying to make room for diffuser, which is hopefully coming early next season. So
you think that'll really improve the rear?
The diffuser, yeah, we're working on a couple more aero tricks to try and help it, but yeah, for sure, it would help a little bit.
And then what kind of suspension are you running?
We are running the Öhlins TTX with Eibach rear springs, and also if you see, it's the Eibach prototype rear sway bars. So those sway bars are very interesting. We actually really like those. We've been working with Eibach for a long time on just tweaking them, tuning them, making sure they're at where we like it. Hopefully coming to the market very soon. SPL rear tow arm, and we're working with a couple of going through a couple of setup on the back just to try and get us the most amount of compliance and also grip for the rear of the car.
Is it like the fun part for you, like the challenge of developing a new car and just really putting it through its paces?
I think so. I think for us, it's probably most fun not when you're dominating, because we remember like we did the Supra and we were like just, I don't want to be mean, but we were kicking everybody's butts for like 2 years straight, and it got to the point where like we weren't learning anything. We're just showing up. We run like a banker lap, and we're 2-3 seconds quicker than everybody else, and it's not fun that way. The whole point is like be challenged, fight against like spaceship and rockets, and realize where we're short, realize what we need more to get more performance out of the car. I feel like that's the challenge for me. That's the fun part for me. So
this rear wing is serious.
It's not bad, right? It's the 3D. The kind of like super shaped and curved end plate actually helps boost efficiency and reduce a little bit of drag.
Is there anything in the trunk?
There is an anti-gravity battery in the trunk and pretty much nothing else. Yeah, we try to, again, strip a lot of the weight out of the car. So.
Right, so then just like the Supra, I remember you were showing me, you had to keep pretty much every single module so it doesn't get pissed off.
Yes.
So it can run at all, because if you replaced a lot of these modules, the car wouldn't even run.
Yeah, pretty much. Remember, like as in the Supra, there was like a diff module right here. If you unplug the diff just becomes an open diff. It's kind of like that. It's very much kind of like that. And this car, if anything, is a little bit worse because this car has a brake by wire. So, so yeah, if you try to bleed the brakes like by normal and by pumping the brake pedal, you might freak it out, and then you just have no brake pedal, and you have to take to a dealership to have them fix it for you.
So then, is the rear end stock?
Rear end is stock, yeah. So actually, most of the drivetrain is stock on this car. So
the door is so light.
Yeah.
And like, it's made again, really well.
Like I will make an exception. We don't sell these from Team Shermer, but like, can I just say how good these are? Also, listen to how it closes. It weighs really light, but it also closes like factory. So props to them.
Let's talk about the roll bar here.
Yeah, sure. This is from Competition Motorsport. It's a full 4-point bolt-in bar. On here, there's obviously a sticker from when we lost our last previous event, so I have to stick it on eventually. We haven't done that yet, but yeah, very nice. This will usually fit around your stock interior and headliner, so it wouldn't intrude any of that. With the headliner and everything out, yeah, we can obviously push it out a little bit more to the edge of the chassis and so on. So
this is so funny looking with everything out, the center console cut.
Yeah.
As much weight loss as possible.
Yeah.
But then you still have this crazy curved screen. I think it's hilarious.
The screen is kind of necessary. First off, I can't separate the two because they're one piece. Second, if I take out this piece, I can't set my traction control. I can't set any of those. And I would lose my entire front gauge too. And it's kind of necessary. Then this car, obviously, you're kind of working with a lot of technologies. You have to kind of keep them. And I'll be honest, I kind of miss, do you remember when I had the Supra and the entire front interior is almost all intact and it's just the back of the car that's stripped? I kind of miss that a little bit because this is a little bit too race car, a little bit too out there, too naked, too bare, you know? So I kind of missed it a little bit.
So then, like, does this have to have a front camera working and all that other stuff?
Well, it really should, but I ripped all of them out and I can't find any of them to put back in. So that's why if you see this car on track, the headlight's always on because it can't see and it just constantly thinks it's at night, so you have to drive with the lights on. I can't turn the lights off for on track anymore, yeah.
But otherwise, it's super minimal and all this stuff is stock.
Yeah.
It just works like stock.
Yeah.
And then it is tuned then.
It is tuned. We had to do a Ecutech with a cloned ECU. I was told recently that they started doing unlocks, which reduces the barrier entry a lot. And yeah, it drops the price by like half. You know, you don't have to buy another like clonable ECU like we talked about back in the Super days, which would be really cool. But there are obviously other tuning options out there. Everybody can tune these things, and it's really cool to see how much power people can get out of these cars. But for us, it's all about reliability and control on track and drivability. So that to me has been key, and Ecutech's been great on that.
You still have a couple seasons with this then?
I think 1 or 2. I'm thinking 1 or 2. I think personally, if I can make a couple of upgrades and really go after that record, those records that we kind of missed this year. We had a couple of really stiff competitions from like Alan Patton with a crazy Corvette. I'm sure you've seen it online or heard it online. The Supercharger one is pretty crazy. And I'd like to go back to COTA at some point. Unfortunately, Super Lap Battle is not coming back next year, which is going to hurt us a little bit. But I want to go back. Yeah, the car's getting really, really good. And we're really, really happy. Like at Autobahn, we were like less than 1.2 off the previous overall track record, which we were really proud about. And we weren't even on slick tires. So, you know, give it a little more time. If I get a little more front downforce, get a little bit more traction, figure a couple small things out, I think the car could be really, really special.
Of course. You're obviously a hell of a driver too.
Well, that helps, but like that's not all of it, you know. like the car has to be there, and like the team has to be there. We've got a great group of guys. AMS helping with the tuning and the engine side, Revel Sport on the aero side, Olins and SPL, and a couple others on the suspension side. And we're all trying to just make this thing as good as we can. And honestly, in a very bolt-on package. That's what we've been always about at PhD, which is just bolt-on performance. Like everything that we do here, you can replicate at home and go and build your own version, whether it be an M2, M3, M4, or like an X-Drive, all-wheel drive version of one of these, and get a lot of performance out of them on your local track days, PCAs, or just autocross, or time attack like this. That's always what we wanted to do, and we're really happy to be out here fighting spaceships.
Well, good luck.
Yeah,
hopefully
appreciate it.
You podium.
Well, we'll see if we can take down a 1,000 horsepower Lotus.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right, have you seen what I did to the front of the car? I really hope you like it, you know.
Let's see.
Let's
see what you did.
1, 2, 3.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
I kind of feel like
Yes.
you took the weight loss thing a little too seriously.
Yeah, we talked about it, but like,
Yeah.
so we had a bit of a mishap, obviously, on
Yeah.
track.
So what happened?
I just hit the brakes a little bit too late. I think it triggered a little bit of ABS. I was really, the closing speed I had into corkscrew, one of the Toyo cars, the open wheel car, was way too fast. I'm like, this is not gonna go well. I don't want to take him out, so I just turned it way early at corkscrew, clipped the yellow turtles, and then they just launched me. We flew over, skirted basically bounced off of the gravel trap and straight into the tire wall. So
I'm so sorry, man.
It's okay. It's a driver mistake, car mistake, a little bit here and there. So we'll get it fixed up. Surprisingly, the frame looks okay. For how hard we went, I think we went in the wall at like 60, 65. Just no straight,
You literally flew, like all four wheels
Yeah,
off.
there was a picture.
There's an epic picture
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
of the car just in the air.
Yeah.
We know that these cars are really resilient. Like
Yeah.
we saw Tyler go off at Pikes Peak.
His was crazy too.
His was way worse, honestly.
Just looking at it like this, I think we can make a lot of small tweaks here and there that will make it a lot nicer too.
I mean, obviously the wheel is missing, and the whole
The wheel's
whole
somewhere.
corner.
The wheel's over there. Don't worry about it. She's still here. Just luckily all the suspension broke instead of pushing the wheel into the chassis.
Yeah.
So most of the chassis. This actually doesn't look too bad. That looks mostly straight.
Yeah.
We'll test everything out. All these small stuff. This is all like bolt-on stuff.
Right.
So.
Well, that's kind of meant to bend, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what about the subframe? Is it damaged?
We don't know. We'll find out. I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. The bolt-on build somehow had a bolt-on crash, which is pretty wild. But we might be all right. So.
Jeez.
Yeah. It'll be back together.
This is crazy. I'm so sorry, man.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's the thing is you always bounce back, man. You have your fair share of incidents, and that's what happens when you're pushing the absolute limit. That's what it takes to break track records.
Yeah, well, we're one of the few cars this weekend to go sub 30, and I'm pretty proud of that on literally blown up tire, and I think the car's got a lot more. We'll come back next year. Every year this event kind of sucked for all of our guys. All three of us had some sort of car broken down, but I'll be back.
Awesome.
Yeah.